Welcome back, folks, to another week and another episode of Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Paul Vold. Joined this week for the first time this season, we have assistant coach Mikey Lawrence. And Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
Well, it's good to be back.
Of course, another weekend and another, well, I guess we can call it a sweep. It was just a one-game weekend for the team. 5-3 victory on the road against the Minnesota Moose. So usually we talk about a game as a whole, but kind of break things down here. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into it. Starting off, of course, it was a 5-3 victory, but first period, got a little bit back and forth, a little bit of feeling out, and then you get a couple of scores down late to down the end of the period, I should say, with there being, obviously a tie going into the intermission. How'd you feel about the play overall in that first period?
I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was too bad. A little sloppy, feeling each other out kind of thing. Neutral zone play was kind of back and forth, but ultimately ended up getting on the power play and getting one in.
Yeah, obviously the power play is something we talked about before we even started talking about today's contest, with it being a little bit of a assistance, if you will, the early going of the season too. A little bit more scoring to open things up in that second period too. It came out with the lead too. Second period, maybe a little bit of a different pace from the first.
Yeah, I thought that we kind of got our feet moving a little bit better in the second. We started playing the body, establishing a little bit of a forecheck, so ultimately ended up being successful for us. There were times where we kind of stopped with it, and you could kind of tell they would push a little more pressure onto us, but ended up getting the win, so I can't complain. Yeah,
of course, with that third period kind of being a holdout and, of course, hanging on to the lead there, too. It's been a few times throughout the season, at least, that we've seen where we get into the situation where we have a lead and then maybe special teams takes over. You find yourself a man down a couple of times throughout a contest, especially late in the third, but had to see at least finishing out the contest, too. Had to be a good feel for at least to get the finish as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we're not going to start games right off the bat ready to go, it's good that we finish them, moving and doing things that we like, so we can ultimately try and bring it into our next game. Penalty kill did great for us. That's kind of been the theme all year. We got a select group of guys that you can just tap them on the shoulder, they'll go and get it done. So it's nice having guys like that on special teams. And then our power play is obviously extremely successful this year, so no complaints from me.
Yeah, of course, a couple highlights from the game. Giannis Camp gets the win in between the pipes, and Cutter Othout gets the hat trick too, at least to see a little bit of some single-handed scoring, if you will. We've seen a little bit more widespread the last few years, but too, to see a guy kind of step up, making his way back to the team too, and putting himself on the stat sheet had to be nice there for that one-game weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Carter's a great kid. Have no bad things to say about him. I was extremely excited when he came back, given he was up in the NA, but we're not going to say no to a guy like that, especially him coming in a little later last year. We got to see what he's all about, and we loved it, and we were excited that he came back. So no more deserving kid than him to get the hat trick. And then Giannis, I mean, he made some great saves for us.
That he did.
You can't complain. It's always fun when you look down there and you see all 7 foot of them with skates on. So no, he played great as well, but it's a team effort. We had the power play going, penalty kill going, and then obviously Uth tucking 3 is huge. So,
of course, now finishing off with the weekend that was now 10-0 on the season. Week of practice here, get a little extra time as well with there just being the one game this past Friday. Get a home-and-home matchup against Alexandria this week leading up. Of course, it's always a tough test against Alexandria. What do you see here? Some things to look at and to prepare for Alexandria coming up this weekend.
I think we just need to start dialing things in. I mean, there's no more system things that we really need to jump into right now, being 10 games in. So it's just kind of dialing up our neutral zone, making sure our transitions are a little more smooth. Forwards coming back, helping D. Just small things that we just got to, tighten up before the Alex weekend. It's obviously a rivalry that we all know around here, and that's one team we hate to lose to, so we're hoping to come out with 4 more points this weekend.
Of course, a spectacular weekend coming up here at the game on Friday at Alexandria. It will be on Halloween night, then Saturday right back here at Miller Buick GMC Arena. Both against Alexandria. Be sure to stay up to date with scores, times, schedules, and much more by going to na3hl.com. Assistant Coach Micah Lawrence joins us here this week on Coach's Corner. Be sure to also follow us on our social media platforms. We'll step aside here for a quick break. I'm your host, Paul Vold. Player interview comes your way next here on Coach's Corner. And welcome back here to Coach's Corner as we are with our player for this week. Of course, our conversation is going to be with number 7, Micah Saxon here this week. Micah, thanks so much for joining us this week.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. With one of our new players, we always like to get a little bit of information about you. So just where you're from and how long you've been playing hockey.
Yeah, so I'm from Chanhassen, Minnesota, and I've been playing since I was 7, so this is my 12th year.
All right. And, one thing we always like to learn about new players coming in. Why'd you choose Granite City this year?
Yeah, so I was at Wausau Cyclones last year, and I got traded in this offseason. And it was a lot closer to home, and I had some buddies here, and Colton, Wass, and Gessel was telling me it's a great spot, so I decided to come here.
Yeah, of course, we had Wass on the show last week, so love to keep that Chanhassen connection going too. But we'll talk about, of course, the weekend that was with a one-game sweep victory for the Lumberjacks. 5-3 over the Minnesota Moose. How'd you guys really feel? A little bit of a slow start there in the beginning, but ultimately got a little bit of scoring towards the end of the period. Was it just a little bit of bus legs going there? How are you guys able to kind of combat the slow start in the first?
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of bus legs, and everyone was just thinking one-game weekend, ready to get going. But, we kind of just bared down, grinded through, and then obviously finished, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Then in the second period, things started to open up a little bit more, get the special teams going. Power play has been really nice to see here, at least in the opening handful of games in the early goings of the season too. But how'd you feel the pace of play was different from the first going into the second?
Definitely a lot different. I mean, we talked a little bit in the locker room. Just we got to figure it out. Who cares if it's one game, but division opponent, we got to figure it out, and we worked on it well, and we did it.
Yeah, and of course the third period really seen a lot of grinding finishes to the end here, kind of gutting out a few wins too. This one, no, not really much of the same, or any different, I should say, kind of finishing out, get the empty netter with Othal finishing off the hat trick too. But how'd you guys feel with at least taking the approach to hang on to that lead into the third?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, unfortunately, we let in a couple goals, but we just know, every time we got to bring the momentum. We got to just get right back at it and keep grinding away and don't let them have any inch.
Absolutely. 10-0 on the season to open up the year with number 7 Micah Saxon here this week. And of course, another big weekend coming up, staying in the division. A home-and-home matchup against Alexandria too. Got a taste of them earlier this year as well with a nice win at home too. But this one a little bit different, going to their barn for the first time this year too. What have you heard from some of the veterans, or maybe things that you've seen in the past here too, that this was always going to be a tough matchup with Granite City?
Yeah. So I've heard a lot. Obviously rivals. And obviously it's our first game in their barn, so they're gonna be packed. Halloween weekend. We just gotta be ready to go. With all the crowd and everything, we just gotta be ready to go right at the start.
Absolutely. Friday will be a road game for your Granite City Lumberjacks up in Alexandria, with it being Halloween weekend coming up. On Saturday, there will be a home contest, 7:30 puck drop against the Alexandria Blizzard. That will be from Miller Buick GMC Arena. Don't forget, on Saturday, be sure to bring those Halloween costumes with and actually wear them between the first and second periods. We have a Halloween costume contest for the fans in attendance. And again, that will be coming up here this weekend, home and home against Alexandria. We're with number 7 Micah Saxon here this week on Coach's Corner. Ready for some rapid fire questions, bud?
Oh yeah.
All right, we're going to start off here with you being one of the new guys on the team here. What's kind of a pregame routine that you have? Does it start right away in the morning when you get to the rink? What kind of gets you ready for game day?
I'd say it starts about an hour before I get to the rink. I go to Chipotle, get all my suit on ready, everything. Just have to get that every time. And then get to the rink, and I put on everything the same way every day. That's just kind of what I do. I don't have anything really specific.
And you kind of mentioned there too, you get a little Chipotle beforehand. What is that go-to kind of pregame meal there for you?
Yeah, so I just get a burrito, chicken burrito, white rice, just some tomatoes, corn, cheese, queso, all the good stuff.
Oh yeah, that is real good. And of course now with we have the addition of red helmets this year for the Lumberjacks. If you could choose the overall look of the team, from helmets, gloves, all the way down to the socks, where are you going to send the team out there in dressed wise?
I think all white.
All white?
Would be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a popular look last year. Now, you being one of the Chanhassen guys on the team here, and of course there is a deep run of high school hockey in that locker room. Who on the team do you think has the biggest high school pride, saying, our team was this, our team was that in high school, and our grade and all that? Who's got the biggest hometown pride on the squad?
I think Razor.
Okay.
Razor likes to tell us that he won back-to-back championships a lot, so he loves his North Dakota.
I love it. You also being one of the newer guys on the team, Who has the most interesting rookie-vet dynamic on the squad that you've seen here in the early goings of the year?
I think Razor and Manny.
Okay.
They like to get after it, especially after they live together. So
Absolutely. They've been a very popular choice for that question. We'll have to have them come on together the way things are going this year. Who on the team has the messiest stall? Now, we're going to exclude goalies because they're in their own world. Who's not very good at housekeeping?
Lemmy.
Lemmy? Yeah. Okay. Yep. He's been another one. Who on the team's the biggest talker? Just doesn't stop talking no matter what.
Ooh, Sankey talks a lot.
Okay.
I think Sankey talks the most, probably.
All right, so of course we do have Halloween weekend coming up. Got to have a couple spooky questions in there. Favorite and least favorite Halloween candy?
Ooh, I think my least favorite's got to be Almond Joy.
Okay.
And then my favorite is, I think, Starburst or Snickers.
Oh, those are very excellent choices. Favorite Halloween costume that you remember growing up?
I think when I was really little, I wore a Buzz Lightyear outfit, and I really liked that one.
Absolutely. Last question here, maybe a little bit controversial. We're going to throw it out there. On the team, you're set in a Halloween horror type movie. Who's getting killed off first? Just has no wherewithal, just is, just out there. Just is not very good paying attention. Who's getting axed first?
I think Wazzy.
Wazzy? Okay.
He's dying.
Sadly, I'd have to probably agree with you on that there, too. Number 7, Micah Saxon joins us here this week on Coach's Corner. Again, don't forget, Granite City, a home-and-home matchup against Alexandria Friday on the road. It'll be Saturday right here for Miller Buick GMC Arena. Stay up to date, scores, schedules, and times, and much more by going to na3hl.com and follow us on our social media platforms. This is Coach's Corner this week. I'm your host, Paul Vold. We'll check in with you guys next week.